Hi guys, today we are going to see how to send logs to Syslog server using Python or PowerShell. So let us see how to do it. First of all, you need to run this Syslog server, and then you can see in the network interface it is listening to the localhost server and the port is 514. So we are going to send the logs to this logs Syslog server using Python now. So let me open the VS Code. Python has built-in module called logging, which we can use to send the syslog messages to syslog server. So I'm going to import the logging module, and then from logging.handlers import syslog handler. So now I'm going to create a variable called server, and then here I'm going to give the IP address of the our syslog server. So since it's listening to the local host, I'm going to go this, and the port is going to be 514. So now I'm going to create the logger, logging get logger. Now I'm going to set level for this logger. Here I am going to give logging dot info. Now I am going to add handler for the logger. Add syslog handler. Here we need to give the server address and then the port. So here I am going to give server comma port. Now we can send the messages to the Syslog server. So I'm going to send warning message. Here I'm going to go. So if I run the code, you should see a message received to this Syslog server. So let me run the code. As you can see, we have received one message. So here you can see we got the warning message. This is a warning message from Python. So, and also you can send info messages. Let me run the code again. So you should see here, you can see we got the warning message here and then the informational message here. So you can send whatever the severity level messages you want. Here logger dot critical here you can see we got the warning message and the informational message and then the critical message. So we know how to send these messages to the Syslog server using the logging module now. So if you don't want to use the logging module, we can use the socket module to send the messages to the Syslog server. So first of all, import this socket module, and then you have to create its socket. So sock is equal to socket. Here we need to mention the address family we are going to communicate with. So if, and then here we need to mention the connection type. So we are going to, the Syslog server is UDP type connection. So I am going to give socket dot diagram. So now we have created the socket. What we are going to do now is, I'm going to create a variable called server. Now I am going to give the server address and the port. And then what we are going to do now is, I'm going to create a variable called facility, and here I'm going to give 22, and then I'm going to give here the severe. I'm going to create a variable called severity, and I'm going to give here 1. So before we go on to send the message to the Syslog server, we need to calculate the priority first. So I'm going to create a variable called priority, and the formula to calculate the priority is facility multiply 8 plus severity. Now what we are going to do now is, I'm going to create a message that is going to be sent to Syslog server. So the priority value should be enclosed with the lesser than and greater than delimiters, and here I am going to give the message. So we need to pass the priority to this string, and we need to send the message to the Syslog server as a byte array value. So I'm going to create a variable called b, and then I'm going to give byte array byte array, and then here I am going to give the message to convert it to the byte array. Before we are going to convert it to the byte array, we need to encode the message. So I am going to give UTF-8. So what we are doing here now is, we are going to encode the message, and then we are going to convert it to the byte array. Now we can send the message to the Syslog server. So sock dot send to, here we need to give the message, which is the byte array value, then give 0, and then give the server address and then the port. So now if I run the code, we will receive a message, hello world. Let me run the code. So we have successfully run the code. Now we have to see, as you can see, we got the alert message, and here is the message, hello world. So now you have seen how to send the messages to the Syslog server using the socket module. So now I am going to show you how to send the message using PowerShell. So I am going to create a new file. PowerShell. So first of all, like we did in the Python, we are going to create a variable called server, and then I'm going to give the server address, and then I'm going to create a variable called port, which is 514. Now we need to create the UDP client object. So I'm going to create a variable called UDP client new object system.net.socket.udp client. Now we are going to connect to the Syslog server. So UDP client dot connect server, and then the port. So before we go on to create a message, we need to calculate the priority. So I'm going to create a variable called facility, which is going to be 22, and then severity, which is going to be 1. Now we are going to calculate the priority, which is going to be facility multiply 8 plus severity. Now we have calculated the priority value. We are going to create a message. So message is equal to, as I said last time, the priority value should be enclosed with lesser than and greater than delimiters. So here the bracket 0, here I am going to send hello world from PowerShell. Now we need to encode this message and create it as a byte array value. So we are going to create variable called encoding is equal to system dot text dot encoding. Now we are going to encode the message, convert the message into the byte array representation. So now we have converted the message into the byte value. Let us send the message. udp.send. Here I am going to send the byte array value, and then dot length. Let me run the code, and we should get the message from the PowerShell. So I made a mistake here. We need to format the priority value into this string. So let me run the code again. Sorry, message is wrong spelling. As you can see, we should have received the message. So as you can see, we got the message from the PowerShell. So that's it, guys. So this is how you can send the messages to the Syslog server using Python and the PowerShell. Thank you for watching my video.